So, nandito na po tayo sa ating training session. So, let me introduce our speaker for today. So, our speaker has been working for 6 years in the field of quality, health, safety, and environment. He's currently working as a quality and compliance officer in construction waste recycling company, and he specializes in management systems, legal compliance, QHSE inspections, audits, trainings, and consultations. Obviously, he's a certified auditor for occupational health and safety management system, environmental management system, quality management system, and business continuity management system. He's a holder of Bachelor of Science in Biology from University of St. Louis, a Grad IOSH member and holder of Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt. And currently, he's pursuing his Masters of Environmental and Natural Resource Management from the University of the Philippines. He also completed various international qualifications, such as International Diploma in Safety Engineering, Lean Six Sigma, NIBOSH International General Certificate, auditor courses, as mentioned before, OSHA certifications, and many more. And lastly, siya po ay isang safety advocate, filsa officer, and pioneer member of filsa. Let us all welcome our presenter for today, Mr. Christian Dispo.
So, kung makikita nyo naman po dun sa video, nakita nyo po na may mga preparedness in place, may mga contingency plan na po yung isang tao doon with regards any kind of threats or disruption. So may mga threats po tayong mga tinatawag tulad po ng mga fire, mga transportation disruptions, mga supply chain disruptions, mga bagay po na pwedeng mapatigil ang operation natin sa isang kumpanya. So sa mga threats po na yun, doon na po papasok ang business continuity management system kung saan ina-identify po natin yung mga iba't ibang threats, ano po yung mga control measures na pwede natin gawin, paano po kaya natin i-minimize yung disruption, paano po natin papababain yung consequence na pwedeng maidulot yun sa ating operasyon, at kung papaano rin po tayo mag-recover at mag-respond to a normal operation. So ang ating training po natin ngayon ay tungkol po sa business continuity management system. Okay? So I advise po na magkaroon din po sana kayo ng kopya. So currently ito po yung website na pwede nyo pong ma-download yung free standard ng business continuity management system. I-share na lang po ito ng ating admin sa chat box para po magkaroon din po kayo ng copy along the discussion, at kung sakali po may mga katanungan po kayo during sa ating question and answer session. Okay? So ang ating objectives sa ating training po ngayon is to know the introduction of ISO 2020-301, 2019 standard, at for us to determine what is the business continuity management and ano po ang scope ng ISO 22301 at ano po ang overview ng standard at ano po ba yung mga benefits kapag nag-i-implement po tayo ng business continuity management system at ano po yung mga concepts at paano po yung implementation process ng business continuity management system. Okay? So, as a brief introduction about the ISO, it is the international standard that specifies the requirements for a business continuity management system. Importance of business continuity management system to organization. So dito po natin malalaman kung ano po ang importansya ng paggagamit or pag-i-implement ng business continuity management system. Okay? So ano po ba ang iba't ibang definitions ng business continuity management system? So usually nag-i-start lang po to sa tatlong words. One is to respond, to recover, and resilience. So, kapag nagkaroon po tayo ng disruption o isang bagay na maapekto sa operation ng ating kumpanya, paano po ba tayo magre-respond sa ganoong disruption? At paano rin po ba tayo magre-recover? Ano po kaya yung minimum operation level na kailangan nating i-meet? At the same time, paano po tayo i-normalize yung ating operation? At the same time, i-develop po natin yung business continuity management system for us to recover more efficiently, more quickly, and to provide a better contingency plans in case of any future disruptions. Okay? So, ang ISO 2022-301, ito po ay isang standard na nangangailangan ng iba't ibang impormasyon. Galing po sa quality management system, galing po sa environmental management system, at galing din po sa occupational health and safety management system. So, base po sa mga impormasyon na meron po tayo sa mga standards na yun, magagamit po natin yun para po makagawa tayo ng ating sistema sa business continuity. At i-explain ko po yun maya-maya para during the implementation process ng ating business continuity. So, as we all know, at na-discuss na rin po dati sa dating mga trainings natin, na ang business continuity ay nagfa-follow din po sa cycle ng PDCA. So, PDCA, meron po tayong plan, meron po tayong do, meron po tayong check at act. I hope po na sa mga nag-attend na po sa dati nating mga trainings is I believe alam niyo na po itong cycle na to. At sa training po ito, mas most na mag-focus na rin po ako with regards sa benefits at kung paano po natin to i-implement sa ating organisasyon. Okay? So, what is the scope of the ISO 2023-01? So, ayun po. One is to respond, to recover, and to reduce the impact of any disruptions, and also to improve the resilience of the organization who are implementing the business continuity management system. At which types of the organization can implement the standard? Well, many types of organization can implement the standard, but usually this business continuity management standard is more effective for those companies na nag-ooperate for 24 hours, 18 hours in a day. So, the more po kasi na mas halimbawa nagkaroon po sila ng 2 hours loss or 3 hours operation time at sobrang laki na po ng impact na yun, wherein it would affect their reputation, it would affect their revenue, their profit, dun na po kaimportante ang business continuity management system sa mga kumpanya na malaki po ang impact, lalo na kapag 1 oras or 2 oras lang po na stop ang operation nila. So basically, importante po to sa mga hospitals, sa mga oil and gas, at sa mga ibang sectors or industries na nag-work 24 hours a day. Okay? At ano po ba yung mga iba pa pong benefits? So, una po is it would enhance the reputation and also the customer confidence at ng ating mga kliyente kapag meron po tayong standard na ito sa kumpanya, kasi we are making sure na whatever disruptions, like for example, magkaroon po ng natural disaster, fire, earthquake, or flood, we have this system in place to ensure na ang ating supply chain, ang ating provision ng service and product ay continuous or tuloy-tuloy lang kahit po merong mga nangyayaring disruption locally. Okay? At pangalawa, it improve risk management and reduction in losses. Pangatlo, it increase operational resilience and reduce downtime. Okay? And pang-apat, it helps complies with regulatory requirements. Okay? So ito na po, it lowered the cost. It is act according to plan when damage occurs. It resumes operations as quickly as possible. Like for example, yung nakita niyo po sa video kanina, nagkaroon po ng power outage. So, kung meron na po tayong plan in place, we have the proper resources like generator or any electrical supply. So, na nakalagay na po sa ating business continuity plan, madali na lang po nilang may re-recover yon with proper response, with proper communication, and proper assessment. So yun po, mapag-uusapan din po natin yun sa ating implementation process. Okay? So, magbibigay po ako ng konting example kung paano po nagamit ang business continuity management system. So noong after the 9/11 terrorist attacks in New York, marami pong organisasyon ang nag-review at nag-update ng kanilang business continuity management system na kung saan i-include po nila yung mga scenarios which includes terrorist attacks, like for example, like the New York Stock Exchange. So nag-implement din po sila ng new security measures and procedures in order to ensure na yung trading nila ay magko-continue in this kind of emergency like the terrorist attacks. Pangalawa, meron po tayong COVID-19 pandemic na na-experience po natin noong 2019, nung bandang end ng 2019. So noong COVID-19 pandemic, marami rin pong organisasyon ang nag-implement ng kanilang continuity plans. Just like for example, marami pong mga kumpanya ang nag-implement ng mga work from home policies at nag-set up po sila ng mga virtual meeting platforms para po masigurado na ang kanilang mga employees ay makapag-communicate at makapag-collaborate sa kanilang mga trabaho. Okay? Pangatlo, meron din pong isang disruption or natural disaster na nangyari noong 2011, the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in Japan. So, ayun po, meron pong isang car manufacturer dito noon, which is the Toyota, na mabilis po silang nakapag-recover wherein they have different plants dun sa region na yon at nakalagay po sa kanilang recovery plan, nagkaroon po ng mga backup generators at mga emergency supplies at meron din po silang mga alternative manufacturing sites. Kaya po nakapag-continue sila sa production nila ng mga sasakyan. At pang-apat, meron din po tayo noong 2017, the Hurricane Harvey in Texas. So, meron din po, may mga kumpanya rin po dito na nawalan po sila ng mga kuryente or power outages. So, meron din po silang mga business continuity plan wherein meron po silang resources which is the backup generators din at mga emergency supplies para to make sure na yung kanilang kumpanya ay nag-ooperate pa rin during this disaster. So basically yung mga hospital po ng mga panahon na yun, marami pong nag-activate ng kanilang business continuity plan na yung mga generators nila inactivate po nila para po makapag-resume sila ng operation at ma-treat mga taong nandun. So ito po yung mga examples ng mga events wherein ginamit po nila ang business continuity management. So ito na po, dito po papasok na ang business continuity, pwede po naman po siya sa lahat pero most likely para po to sa mga companies na nag-work 24 hours or it is very essential po para sa ekonomiya or sa kanilang local area. Okay? So, dito naman po tayo sa terms and definitions. So, please take note po sa mga definitions na ginamit kasi magagamit po natin to sa implementation process at para mas maintindihan natin kung ano po ba yung mga bagay na kailangan nating alamin at i-consider during the planning ng ating business continuity management system. So when we say business continuity, it is the capability of an organization to resume delivery of products and services. Okay? At meron din po tayong business continuity objectives. So as usual po, sa mga ibang standards, lahat po meron pong objectives din yung mga iyon. Meron po mga quality, may mga environmental objectives. Same lang din po sa business continuity objectives na kung saan we need to identify kung ano yung mga targets or goals natin and it should be consistent with the business continuity policy. Pangatlo, business continuity policy. Siyempre, dapat meron din po tayo neto. So, dito po nakalagay ang intentions ng ating top management at ang direction na related sa business natin or sa organization, sa scope ng organization natin. Okay? So, eto pa lang po, maganda na po na meron tayong ganito. At least, tataas po ang reputation ng ating kumpanya. May share din po natin to sa ating mga interested parties na ang kumpanya natin ay meron din po tayong business continuity na kapag meron po tayong mga contracts or meron po tayong gustong ligawan ng mga kliyente, pwede po natin itong i-share sa kanila na pinapakita po natin na ang business natin ay magko-continue whatever the disruption and we will keep to ensure that we continue to supply ang ating products and services sa ating mga kliyente. Okay? Meron po tayong tinatawag din na business continuity strategy. So, ito po yung kailangan nating i-identify. Ano po yung mga action na gagawin natin. Depende po kung ano yung mga requirements ng business continuity, ano po yung requirements ng mga local authority, ano rin po yung mga requirements ng ating mga internal, kung ano rin po ay mga nakuha nating impormasyon with regards sa ating internal at saka external issues. At ang business impact analysis, ito po ang pinakaunang proseso na gagawin natin sa pag-i-implement ng business continuity. Okay? So, when we say business impact analysis, it is the analysis of impacts of disruption to determine resumption priorities. So, once na mag-i-start po tayo ng implementation, kailangan po natin mag-conduct ng business impact analysis. Okay? Dito po natin malalaman kung ano po yung mga impact ng bawat activity or ng bawat proseso ng ating kumpanya. So, just for example po, sa isang manufacturing, may iba't ibang proseso po yun. Kailangan po nating bumili ng mga raw materials, kailangan po nating i-produce yung mga final product natin gamit ng mga raw materials. At the same time, kailangan din po natin yung i-supply at i-deliver sa ating mga kliyente. Ngayon, kailangan po natin siyang i-summarize sa isang table. So, kung halimbawa, sa pagbibili po ng ating mga raw materials, kailangan natin i-analyze what if nag-stop po yun ng 8 hours, what if nag-stop po yun ng 24 hours, or what if nag-stop po yun ng 5 days. Ano po kaya yung magiging impact niya sa ating kumpanya? For example, ano po yung impact niya sa ating profit, ano po yung impact niya sa production natin, ano po kaya magiging impact niya sa ating reputasyon, at ano rin po kaya yung impact niya sa ating mga kliyente. Mga ganong set of categories ba ang kailangan nating i-check. Okay? And then, disruption. Okay? So, disruption is an incident that adversely affects an organization's normal course of operation. So kung nakikita niyo po sa unang video, ang dami na pong disruption ang ipinakita. Unang-una, meron pong power outage, may mga fire threats, may mga natural disaster like flood, heavy winds, anything po, or any siguro transportation block or roadblock, mga ganong klaseng disruption po or anything incident po na pwedeng itigil ang operation ng ating kumpanya. Okay? At meron din po tayong tinatawag na essential operation. So these are the activities that are necessary for the organization to meet its business objectives. So ito na po, kailangan nating alamin ano po ba yung mga importanteng operation. So from the essential operations, ito po yung mga operation na kailangan nating i-prioritize para po hindi tayo maapektuhan ng sobra. Like syempre, ang pinaka-importante po sa isang manufacturing is to produce yung products na kailangan nilang i-produce para po ma-meet yung requirements ng kanilang customer. So kailangan po nating i-check yun. At the same time, kailangan din po nating i-deliver. At syempre, kailangan din po nating maningil din. So dapat may mga finance department, nandun po sila, nandun din po ang ating production department. Siyempre, lagi po silang magkakasama. So, kung ang isa sa kanila ay nawala, then it would be a great impact sa ating kumpanya. At meron din po tayong prioritize activity. So, ito po yung mga activities na makikita natin sa ating mga essential operations. It's not necessary naman po na kapag wala na pong operations, kapag ang operation department ay wala, hindi naman po malaking impact na yun. Pwede pa rin po nating i-categorize yun, alamin kung ano po yung mga activities na kailangan natin sa operations department. Hindi naman po kailangan na halimbawa meron pong 3 activities ang nasa operations department. Kahit po 2 or isang activity lang po ang kukunin natin sa activities ng operations department. Yun po ang tinatawag nating prioritize activities. Okay? At ang recovery time objective or the RTO, it is the period at or within which an activity must be resumed. So sa bawat activities, so once na makuha na po natin yung mga prioritized activity, kailangan po natin mag-set ng recovery time objective. So makukuha po natin itong RTO natin based po sa impact at kung hanggang saan lang po ang kayang masustain ng organization na kumbaga dapat less than 100,000 lang ang kaya nilang malos. So from that 100,000 pesos na yun lang ang kaya nilang ilos, dapat ma-recover na natin yun. Yun ang magiging recovery time objective natin. So sa bawat 10 kliyente, sabihin natin ang kaya lang na kayang malos ng ating kumpanya ay 7 kliyente, 7 kliyente lang. So from that 7 clients na kaya nating malos, dapat hanggang dun lang din ang ating recovery time objective. Okay? So itong part po na ito, i-discuss ko rin po ito sa ating implementation process. Okay? And then, ito po, maximum tolerable period of disruption. So magkasama po sila, ang RTO at ang MTPD. Ito po ang tolerable period na kung saan ang activity na yon is hanggang dun lang po dapat siya mag-stop. Dapat hindi na po siya mag-exceed sa maximum tolerable period of disruption or else it would be a greater impact sa ating organization. It would be a greater loss of reputation, a loss of client, and also a greater loss of revenue or profit. Okay? So ayun po, sa sinabi ko kanina, ang business continuity management system ay nagpo-follow din po sa same cycle, which is the PDCA. So makikita nyo, ito po ang isang short screenshot ng standard ng ISO 22301. Nag-i-start po lagi sa scope, normative references, at susunod na po yung mga context of the organization, leadership, planning, operation, um, um, performance evaluation, at saka continual improvement. Okay? So ano po ba yung mga critical components para po masigurado natin ang success ng ating business continuity? Ang pinakauna sa lahat is management commitment. Lagi naman po sa lahat po ng standard, without the commitment from the management, not only commitment but the action to provide the resources to support decisions, involvement for the development of our systems, lahat po yun. Lagi po dapat nating i-make sure na meron tayong commitment sa ating top management kasi sila po ang overall decision maker, sila po ang accountable, at sila po ang taong makakapagsuporta sa atin sa pag-i-implement ng sistemang to. Okay? At unang-una sa lahat, ang business continuity management, hindi po ito kaya ng isang tao lang. It involves the different key personnel ng ating organisasyon. Unang-una, ang ating top management. Sila po ang overall in charge sa pag-implement ng BCM. Kasi sila po ang magde-decide sa pag-provide ng resource like generators, backup plans, contingency plans, alternative sites for production. Sila po ang kayang makapag-decide nun at makapagbigay nun. At the same time, papasok din po yung mga different department heads, ang ating mga HR, ang ating mga operation head, quality and control head, health and safety head. Dapat nandito rin po sila sa parting ito kasi without their involvement, mahirapan po tayong makapagplano, makapag-construct at makapag-develop ng mga contingency plans kasi brainstorming po ang mangyayari dito eh. Kailangan po nating alamin sa operation department ano po yung mga importanteng activities nila. Kailangan po nating alamin sa finance, sa HR, ano po yung mga importanteng activities nila para po ma-identify natin kung ano yung mga activities na ipra-prioritize natin during a disruption. Okay? So ito rin po, kailangan nating alamin yung scope sa ating BCM. Lagi nakalagay na po yan sa ating mga standards. Una-una sa quality management system, nandun na po ang scope natin. Ano po ba yung mga products and services na provide natin? Ano po ba yung mga kailangan natin? So, kailangan po nating malaman din po yun. At dito rin po, hindi lang po sa occupational health and safety tayo nagkakandak ng risk assessment, kundi pati rin po sa business continuity. Nagkakandak din po tayo ng risk assessment. Pero more on the natural disasters, supply chain disruptions, yung mga political, economical threats, ano pa ho, mga contagious outbreak, yung mga ganun po, kailangan po natin mag-conduct ng risk assessment base po sa mga available sa ating bansa. Like dito po sa UAE, usually ang mga natural disaster po namin dito is yung mga heavy winds, probably like the heavy winds, sandstorm, mga ganun. Kapag sa mga Pilipinas naman po, siguro usually floods, heavy rains, yun po. So dito po papasok yung sa risk assessment kasi hindi naman po necessary na kailangan nating ilagay lahat ng threats. Depende po kung ano lang po yung probability ng occurrence sa local regions nyo or sa bansa ninyo. Okay? At ito po, dapat maganda rin po ang ating nakuhang impormasyon sa pagkakandak ng ating business impact analysis. At dito rin po sa risk register, ano po yung mga kailangan nating i-comply, may mga requirements po ba ang government or may requirements po ng mga ibang interested parties. At pagkatapos po nating makuha yung mga bagay na ito, gagawa na po tayo ng ating business continuity plan. Okay? At after po natin gumawa ng business continuity plan, syempre, kailangan po natin siyang i-exercise or i-test kung effective po ba ito o hindi. Parang nagkakandak lang po tayo ng emergency mock drill. Kailangan lang po natin malaman kung ilang oras kayang makakapag-respond, ilang oras po kaya makakapag-evacuate ang ating mga tao, at ilang oras po kaya sila makakarating sa assembly point. Similar lang din po iyon sa business continuity management system. However, ang business continuity management system hindi lang po tumitigil sa sa kaligtasan ng tao, but it also ensures na uh, uh, it also ensures both the safety of the employees, at the same time it ensures the continuity of the operations. Okay? And syempre, para po malaman natin yung mga improvements na pwede natin gawin, syempre kailangan po natin magkaroon ng mechanism or proseso to measure the effectiveness and the performance of our system. Okay? Okay. So, sa Plan, Do, Check, Act, dito na pumunta tayo sa first stage. So, una, kailangan po nating alamin ang ating context of the organization. Okay? So, dito, we need to determine the external and internal issues. And then, the issues that will be influenced by the organization's overall objectives, its products and services, and the amount and type of risk that it may or may not take. Okay? So, for sure po sa mga nakapag-attend na dati, alam ko po naintindihan niyo na po ito. I think hindi ko na po kailangang i-explain or elaborate ang requirement ng 4.1, understanding the context and the organization. Importante lang naman po is for us to determine the external and internal issues. So these are some of the examples of internal and external issues which is related to the business continuity. So meron po tayong internal issues na equipment failure, meron po tayong data loss or corruption. Ito po yung mga data na kumbaga nakasave po sa ating mga server, sa ating mga computer. So dapat meron din po tayong IT department to ensure na merong proper backup or regular backup ng ating data, kasi just in case of disruption, umulan po or nagkasunog, at least meron po tayong backup sa ating mga data. Yun po ay isa ring importante para po makapag-continue ang ating operasyon. Okay, meron po tayong staff shortages due to illness or resignations, poor communication or lack of coordination between departments, and inadequate training or knowledge of employees. So sa lahat po, kahit sa quality, environmental, napaka-importante po ng adequate training or knowledge na kailangan nating i-implement sa ating kumpanya. Kasi without proper knowledge, mahirap po itong maging success sa ating organisasyon. Okay? At next, meron po tayong external issues tulad po ng natural disasters like floods, hurricanes, earthquakes, cyber attacks, supplier or vendor failures, regulatory changes or non-compliance, and economic downturns or market disruptions. So ito po yung mga bago na issues na magandang i-implement sa isang kumpanya, kasi madedetermine po natin yung mga economic downturns, ano po kaya ang pwede nating contingency plan, ano po kaya ang ating recovery plan in case of economic downturns. Tulad po dun sa COVID-19 pandemic, kung nakikita niyo, marami po talaga nagsarang kumpanya dahil po sa lack of contingency plans, or talagang mahirap na nga po talaga nung panahon na yun. Medyo mahirapan din kahit po ang BCP nahirapan din sa panahon ngayon. But still, the best thing is yung sa pag-hibernate siguro to cost down, to cost reduction, yung kailangan i-maintain yung mga key personnel. Usually yun po ang magiging contingency plan para sa mga ganong bagay. Kasi talagang mahirap na naman po talaga ang ekonomiya nung panahon ng pandemic. Okay? So, 4.2, understanding the needs and expectation of interested parties. So, alam niyo na po yan. Marami po tayong mga interested parties. May owners, may customers, may government, employees, lenders, suppliers, community, and the society. So, pagdating sa customer, syempre ang customer, they expect na ang organization can continue to provide its products and services even in the event of disruption. Okay, so they expect na dapat timely and accurate communication regarding the status of our operation during a disruption, as well as a timely resolution of any issues or concerns. Okay? And employees, syempre yung mga employees natin, they expect a safe and secure work environment. And they may also expect that the organization can continue to pay salaries or wages during a disruption. Okay? Yun din po ang expectation nila. So sa ating mga governments or regulators, so sila, they also expect na organization has a well-documented and tested business continuity management system. And at the same time, the system must meet the relevant standard or regulations. Okay? And sa experience ko po, syempre ang government, they also expect regular reporting about the status ng ating business continuity management system and any records of encountered disruptions. Okay? And also ang ating mga shareholders. Okay, syempre shareholders natin, they also expect ng ating organization should have a robust business continuity management in place in order to protect their investment. And at the same time, syempre, nagre-require din po sila ng mga regular reporting about sa status ng ating management system. Okay? And then suppliers at saka mga partners po natin, ang ina-expect po nila is also to continue to honor contractual obligations during a disruption. So it means that dapat ang organization natin meron tayong plan paano po natin i-manage ang disruption at paano po maapektuhan ang ating ability to supply or to supply our partners and suppliers effectively. Okay? So ito, determining the scope. So it would be based from the external and external issues that we have, ano pong requirements ng ating interested parties, at ano po yung mga products and services ng ating kumpanya. Okay? So here, if we will be following the ISO 22301, our organization should establish and maintain and implement and continually improve a business continuity management system. So it includes the process, ano po yung mga process, activities na kailangan natin, ano po yung mga interactions ng mga process na to na in accordance sa requirements ng ISO 22301. Okay? So, nasa plan pa rin po tayo. However, it will includes now the involvement from the top management, which we will be finding in clause 5.1, which is the leadership and commitment. So in clause number 5, you can find here 5.1, the leadership and commitment, 5.2, policy, 5.3, organizational roles, responsibilities, and authorities. Okay? So, during the leadership and commitment, syempre, nasabi ko na po kanina, management commitment. So, by that, meron po dapat tayong business continuity policy at meron din po tayong business continuity objectives that is approved or that where it shows na dapat involved ang ating top management. Okay? And also, we need to integrate the BCM requirements into the organization's business processes. Okay? And to ensure that the resources needed for the BCMMS are available, and we need to communicate the importance of the BCMS, and we need to achieve what are the intended results that we have planned, and we need to ensure that all the people within the organization involved should be contributing to the effectiveness of the BCMS. Okay, so dapat similar sa ating quality management system at ibang standards na dapat involved din po at aware ang mga tao sa BCMS para po, syempre lahat po dapat sila, aware sila, ano po yung mga emergency procedure, ano po yung mga emergency evacuation na kailangan nilang i-follow. At the same time, alam din po dapat nila kung ano po yung mga recovery procedure na gagawin para po makapag-continue ang operation. Okay? And it should promote the improvement and support management roles to show leadership and commitment. Okay? So, similar po sa ibang mga standards, syempre, once we are establishing the business continuity policy, we need to consider the purpose and the context of the company, basis of our BCMS. Sorry, nagkaroon po ata ng typographical error dito. So what would be the basis of our BCM objectives, our commitment to satisfy applicable requirements, and the commitment to continual improvement. Okay? So again, we have to communicate and we have to assign the roles and responsibilities and authorities of the BCMS. So sinabi ko po kanina, ang BCMS hindi lang po isang tao ang kayang mag-implement nito. It involves different key personnel para po ma-implement ito. Unang-una, from the top management, kasi po siya po ang nagbibigay ng resources and overall decision maker kapag nagkaroon po ng disruption. At syempre, papasok po doon yung mga advices, yung mga things to consider. Doon na po papasok ang mga heads galing sa operations department, sa health and safety department, at sa mga ibang departamento ng isang organisasyon. Okay? Okay, so pupunta po tayo sa next clause, which is nasa plan stage pa rin po tayo, ha? So, clause number 6, nasa planning. So, sa planning, kailangan po nating malaman what are the actions to address the risk and opportunities, and what are the BCM objectives and planning to achieve them, and also planning of changes. Okay? So, what are the actions? Siyempre, it would be based from the internal, external, and the expectations of our interested parties. Siyempre, kailangan po nating malaman yun. Hindi po natin ma-identify kung ano yung mga actions para ma magawa natin ang paraan yung mga issues at yung mga needs and expectation ng mga relevant interested parties. So, yun na po yun, naipakita ko naman po yung example kanina. Okay? So, ano po ba yung mga sample actions to address this risk and opportunities? So, yun po. One is to conduct and develop a risk assessment under the perspective of business continuity. Di ba po, sa mga ating health and safety professional, ang risk assessment po is more on the hazards, risk, yun lang po. Pero ang risk assessment po ng business continuity, it includes everything. Natural disaster, mga incidents, accidents, mga hazard, mga natural disaster, mga sunog, mga power disruptions, mga supply chain, mga economic downturns, mga political instability, lahat po yun i-consider natin sa ating risk assessment. Okay? And another action is to develop and conduct a business impact analysis. Ito po, sinabi po kanina, kailangan po nating alamin ano po yung mga importanteng activities, process ng ating kumpanya to ensure, to maintain what are the essential requirements. Unang-una, requirements natin sa regulatory, requirements natin sa ating mga customer at iba pa. Okay? And also, we should have a process or mechanism to ensure continual improvement. Meron din po dapat tayong action, procedure, paano po ang ating communication and coordination sa ating mga empleyado at sa mga ibang interested parties, suppliers, partners. Okay? And also resource allocation. So we should allocate appropriate resources from the top management. It should include not only equipments, but also the personnel, the technology, the financial resources, and also investing to new technology or equipment to improve the resilience, or also hiring additional staff to support response and recovery efforts. Okay? At muli, isang example po ay actions which is training and awareness. So, yun po, we need to ensure na employees are aware of the risks and opportunities related to the business continuity management system. And syempre, we need to provide appropriate training and education to help them prepare and respond effectively to a disruptions. Okay? So, 6.2, we need to establish a business continuity objectives and how do we plan to achieve them. Okay, so starting from the acronym SMART. So S, it should be specific, it should be measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. At ang objective, dapat po relevant po siya sa ating business continuity policy at kinoconsider niya rin po yung mga applicable requirements at also relevant po siya sa ating products and services at the same time, it should be monitored, communicated, and updated appropriately. Okay? So, plan to achieve, ano yung mga bagay na kailangan gawin, ano yung mga resources na kailangan, sino po kaya magiging responsible sa objective na to, kailan po kaya ito matatapos, at paano po kaya natin i-evaluate yung mga results na nakuha natin. Okay? So ito po ay some examples of the business continuity objectives. So the objective is to maintain business operations during disruptive incidents. So ano po yung mga key performance index na kailangan nating alamin para ma-measure to? So it would be the percentage of critical business processes that remain operational during an incident. Okay, isang KPI po yun. And then second KPI, what is the average time to restore critical business processes following an incident? Okay, ano po kaya yung sinet nating objective para po ma-restore yung operation na yun kapag ito ay naitigil dahil sa isang insidente or sa isang disruption. Okay? Pangalawang objective, pwede rin pong objective natin is to ensure continuity of supply chain operations. So ano po yung KPI natin? It would be based on the percentage of suppliers with documented business continuity plans. It would be the percentage of suppliers who have been tested for business continuity readiness. So dito po, pwede po tayo mag-conduct ng second party audit para po ma-check with regards the implementation ng kanilang business continuity management system. Okay, pangatlong objective, pwede rin po tayong mag-establish to ensure timely and effective communication during incidents. So, paano po natin i-measure to? We need to identify ano po yung average time to notify stakeholders of a disruptive incidents. Ano po kaya yung percentage of stakeholders who receive timely and accurate communication during an incident. Okay? So, planning of changes. Okay. Purpose of changes and its consequences. So, dito na po yung mga changes na nangyayari. Kailangan din po natin maging updated sa mga bago na yun. At the same time, we need to check the integrity. Ano po yung mga changes sa ating mga resource availability, allocation and reallocation din po ng ating responsibilities and authorities. So, this should be properly planned in case of any changes. It should be properly communicated para po hindi magkaroon ng conflict of interests. Okay? Okay. So, ayun. Nasa planning stage pa rin po pala tayo kasi susunod pa po is clause number 7, which is the support. Okay. So, sa support, makikita niyo po dito, meron pong 5 classes. Similar lang din po sa ating ibang management system. So, meron po tayong resources, meron po tayong competence, meron po tayong awareness, communication, and documented information. Okay. So in general, resources. Ito po, ano po yung mga resources na kailangan natin para ma-establish at ma-implement ang ating business management system. Siyempre, kailangan po natin ng ng commitment muna from the top management. Mahirap mag-implement pag wala commitment galing sa kanila at sa mga iba't ibang departamento. Kasi para sa akin, naman po yan chain reaction po yan na dapat manggagaling sa pinakataas. Kapag committed na committed talaga ang top management ng mga ibang heads, magiging active at magkikipag-coordinate din po yan kapag nakita nila na ang top management ay talagang committed sa mga ganitong bagay. So mas madali po tayong makakuha ng impormasyon sa kanila at ano po yung mga kailangan nating i-determine to improve their competency. At like for example, their knowledge, ability, training, and experience. So you being the person knowledgeable about the BCM, syempre kapag gagawa ka ng ganito, dapat alam na alam mo rin po yung standard and you need to plan and develop your own business continuity management system kasi hindi naman po pwedeng copy-paste lang sa ibang kumpanya dahil meron po silang different requirements, meron po silang different issues at meron po silang different stakeholders or interested parties. So from there, in case of competence, syempre kailangan mo i-make sure na yung mga tao, like sa HR, kapag nagkaroon ng work stoppage, syempre, kailangan nandiyan ang HR to check ilan po ba ang employees na nawala, sino po ba yung mga employees, mayroon ba, kailangan ba nilang mag-hire ng temporary staff, mga ganong bagay. Ngayon, kailangan din natin i-train ang ating finance department. So kailangan train sila sa ganito na kumbaga magkano kaya yung babayaran para dun sa mga temporary staff or magkano meron po ba kaya silang contracts or quotations from different suppliers kapag nagkaroon po ng supply chain disruptions or meron na po ba silang ibang planta to operate na pwedeng puntahan in case of disruption na ang plan is to look for an alternative site of manufacturing. Mga ganong instances po. So dapat lahat po ng mga departamento, lalo na yung mga heads ay trained and also knowledgeable about the BCMS. Okay? And ayun po, awareness. Siyempre, we need to communicate ang ating policy sa ating mga empleyado, ano po yung mga ating objective, at ano yung mga possible cause na mangyayari kapag hindi tayo nag-comply sa BCMS. Siyempre, hindi tayo makakapag-recover on time. Baka po tuloy-tuloy na mag-stop ang operation natin, which will affect the reputation. It will affect the revenue. Mga ganong instances po, okay? And then, we need to share also what is the roles and responsibilities before, during, and after disruption. Okay? And ito po, pinaka-importante is communication. So it should apply to internal and external communication. What are the things to communicate, when to communicate, with whom to communicate, and how to communicate, and who to communicate. Napaka-importante na ito, lalo na kapag magkakaroon na po tayo ng isang disruption na doon po papasok ang incident and notification and detection. Without communication or proper communication channels, hindi po magiging effective din ang BCMS. Okay? So, sa ibang standards, as usual, documented information. So it should be documented. There should be a process for creating and updating a document. Meron pa dapat tayong iisang format at meron din pong review and approval for the suitability and adequacy. At the same time, dapat it should be controlled. Hindi po dapat papunta yan sa iba-iba kasi syempre magkakaroon po ng mga non-disclosure fines na mangyayari. Okay? So, there should be the availability and suitability for use. It should also be adequately protected and also the distribution and access. So, lahat po ito, which is na-mention na rin po ito sa ating trainings before sa iba't ibang standard. Similar lang din po na kailangan natin magkaroon ng proper documented information sa ating management system. Okay? Ngayon, naplano na natin ang lahat. Meron na po tayong mga plans, may procedures, may policy, may objectives na rin po tayo. Ngayon pupunta na po tayo sa second stage ng PDCA, which is do. We need to perform. Paano po natin gagawin ang business impact analysis? Paano din po natin gagawin yung risk analysis? Paano po tayo magde-develop ng recovery plan? paano po tayo mag-create ng communication plan at paano po natin iti-test or i-exercise ang ating business continuity plan, or we can say it parang emergency mock drill. Paano po natin gagawin yan? Okay? So, sa clause number 8, operation. So, meron po siyang 6 sub-clauses. Meron pong operational planning control, the business impact analysis and risk assessment, business continuity strategies and solutions, business continuity plans and procedures, exercise program, and evaluation of business continuity documentation and capabilities. Okay? So, 8.1, operational planning control. So the organization should plan, implement, and control the processes needed to meet the requirements. Ano po yung criteria for the processes? What are the controls of the processes? And then we need to keep documented information to the extent necessary. Okay? So, dito pa lang, once na magpa-plan na tayo ng ating operational planning, for sure meron na po ito. Available na po ito sa ating quality management system. Nakalagay na po doon lahat ng processes, quality controls, operational procedures, hiring, appraisal procedures, lahat po. For sure nandun na po yun sa ating quality management system kung ito po ay proper na na-implement. So wala na po tayong problema doon kasi meron na po tayong listahan ng mga procedures natin. Ngayon, pwede na po tayong pupunta sa business impact analysis. So sa business impact analysis, ano daw po yung mga requirements to provide the products and services? Andun na po sa ating QMS. Malalaman po natin yung kung ano yung mga proseso. So here, ang requirement po ng standard is to implement and maintain systematic process for analyzing the business impact and assessing risk of disruptions. At the same time, sa ating BIA procedure, we need to review the business impact analysis and risk assessment at planned intervals. Okay? So, sa business impact analysis, kailangan po nating alamin ano po yung mga iba't ibang impacts na kailangan nating i-consider. Nandun na po, yung sinabi ko kanina, yung reputation, health, environment, financial, economic, yun po, iba't ibang types. At dapat ma-determine natin lahat ng activities. Nakukuha din po natin to sa ating QMS documented information. For sure, meron po yun. And then, kailangan nating gamitin yung analysis natin na ano po kaya ang mangyayari kapag natigil yung activity na yun ng isang oras or 24 hours or 5 days or 1 month. Ano po kaya magiging impact nun? At the same time, sa bawat activity, dapat na-identify din natin ano yung mga kailangan nating resources para ma-operate or mag-start yung operation ng ating mga activities or ating mga naset na prioritized activities. Okay? At the same time, kailangan din po nating i-determine ano po yung mga dependencies. Ito po kaya ang activity na ito, dependent ang quality and control department sa activity na to. Dependent po kaya ang finance sa operations department. Dependent po kaya ang HR department sa PRO department, mga ganong dependencies po. So we need to identify not only internal but external. Siyempre, external, dependent po ang ating mga customers sa ating mga products and services. Siyempre, dependent din po ang government na dapat, siguro government that are ensuring the quality control. So they are dependent na to make sure na dapat ang products and services na provide natin are in good quality. And also for the partners, suppliers, and also other interdependencies. So ito po yung mga examples ng dependencies which is nabanggit ko kanina. Okay? So ito po ang isang example ng business impact assessment. So kung nakikita nyo, meron po tayong timeline dito, 24 hours, week, 15 days, month, 3 hours. And then based on this timeline, i-assess po natin magkano po kaya ang ano po kaya yung magiging health impact niya kapag yung activity na 'to is nag-stop for 24 hours. O sabihin natin within 24 hours lahat po ito from health impact to reputation, least impact lang daw po siya. Pero what if kung 3 months? Siyempre or 15 days siguro medium na siya. So it means kapag medium, may possibility of high number of injuries, mas malaking loss sa economic or financial profit, at magkakaroon ng significant impact on the delivery of key services, and then so on and so forth. Gano'n po. So pataas po yan ng pataas from this impact to high at kung ano man pong impact assessment ang gagamitin niyo or matrix. Okay? So ito po rin po ang isang example, okay, sa isang production or manufacturing ng chemicals. So dito po nagbigay lang po ng dalawang activity. So dito po sa activity, meron po tayong production of chemicals, meron din po tayong quality control or quality assurance of produced chemicals. So dito po dapat may description yan. Ano ba yung entire description ng activity na to? So dito sa production, this is the receiving of raw materials and production to chemicals or to the final product. So dito, kailangan po nating alamin kung ano po yung mga resource requirements para sa activity na to. So, syempre, nabanggit po kanina, yung personnel, manpower, yung mga equipment or premises, sino po yung mga suppliers na kailangan na nandito. Syempre, sila po nagpo-provide ng raw materials. So, kailangan din po nating identify ano yung mga resource at ano rin po yung mga resource na kailangan natin with regards information and technology. So, nandito po yung mga servers, nandito po yung communication and emails, etc. Okay? Ngayon, syempre, kaya po sinabi ko kanina na dapat involved po dapat lahat ng tao dito. So when we say the activity of production, for sure, there should be a person from the production department, the overall head of the production department na magbibigay ng 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 maximum acceptable outage wherein ito po yung pinaka-maximum na kailangan mag-stop lang activity na to. Kasi kapag nag-stop siya, probably yung impact niya sa health, sa economy is high, yung impact niya sa operation is high din, impact niya sa environment is high. So, magagaling po ito sa taong in charge sa operation department. Okay? Kaya po sinasabi ko na dapat lahat po ng mga tao at key personnel ay involved sa pag-implement ng BCMS. Kasi syempre, hindi nyo naman po alam kung ano yung entire activity ng operation department. Iba rin, syempre, hindi rin po kayo aware sa entire activity ng HR department or ng HSC department, mga ganong instances po ba. Okay? Ayan, similar lang din po sa quality control ng mga chemicals. So, kailangan natin i-identify yung manpower. Siyempre, meron tayong mga quality control technicians, may mga kuwan pa siguro, quality control manager, etc. Ano po yung mga equipment na kailangan natin to ensure the control of our products. Siyempre, sino rin po ba yung mga suppliers natin? Kailangan natin i-determine yan. Okay? And also information technology. Ngayon, sabi daw po ng quality manager or head ng laboratory, kaya lang din nila daw ang maximum allowable acceptable outage is only 15 days. Okay? Or else it would be a great impact na naman daw sa health, sa economy, operation, tsaka environment. Okay? Siyempre, kailangan po nating siguraduhin na tama po yung mga nilalagay nila. Magtaka na lang po kayo kapag yung activity naman is production lang ng chemicals pero naglagay sila sa health tsaka environment ng high. Ano pong anong relevance nun? Hindi naman po sila relevant eh. So most likely kapag itong activity na to ay related lang sa operation and syempre for sure dito lang magbabago yung mga sagot nila sa mga categories na to. Kasi kung ipa-iba ang sagot nila, it means nilalaro lang nila yung questionnaire na binigay natin sa kanila. Okay? So, ayun. Another set of examples, syempre, health and safety. Syempre, meron pong activity to ensure safety operations. Syempre, napaka-importante po nun. Okay? So, sa bawat operation, dapat may health and safety doon or else, like for example, kung 1 day silang wala, for sure yung health, mataas yung impact niya. It would be high. it would lead to serious or many numbers of injuries or incidents. Diba? Okay? So, based from here, makikita nyo na po dito, madedetermine natin kung ano yung recovery time objective. So, ito po dapat yung objective na kailangan natin mai-recover itong activity na to, or else it would lead to a bigger impact sa ating organization. And automatically, syempre, ano yung criticality level? So, this would be critical, which means it is a critical activity and it should be prioritized. So, dito po ang ating priority level. Okay? Ngayon, sa susunod, kailangan po nating mag-conduct din ng risk assessment. Okay, sa ating mga health and safety professional, for sure, aware na po kayo kung paano po ang paggagawa ng risk assessment. Ngayon, gagawa naman po tayo in terms of the perspective of business continuity. So, we need to plan for implementation and we need to maintain a risk assessment process. So here, we have to identify the risks dun sa ating na-identify na prioritize activity. Ito po, makukuha po natin ating prioritize activity sa pagkakandak ng business impact analysis. At kailangan din po natin i-analyze at i-evaluate yung mga na-identified nating risk and ano po yung mga risk na kailangan nating i-check para bigyan ng additional control measures. And also, syempre, meron din po tayong mga existing control measures which we can get it from our occupational health and management system and environmental management system. So, doon na po papasok yung dalawang system na yun para mas madali po nating magawa itong risk assessment. Okay, so magbibigay lang din po ako ng isang example. So, similarly, sa BIA natin, kailangan po natin gumawa ng isang impact assessment or meron po tayong isang matrix paano po natin i-assess yung mga impacts ng bawat threats or ng bawat disruptions na ma-identify natin. So there should be an evaluation level from this impact to very high. So dito niyo po malalaman ano po yung mga definitions niya per evaluation level. Okay? So medyo similar lang din po siya sa BIA. So bibigay po ako ng isang risk assessment example. Okay. So, sa definitions ng business continuity, ang ginagamit po na term is threats, which means ito po yung mga disruptions, incidents na that would affect the operations of our organization. So, nagbigay po ako ng tatlo. Meron po tayong threats with regards natural disasters, cyber attacks, and contagious diseases. Siyempre, kailangan po nating i-determine ano po yung description niya kasi baka naman po limitado lang to. Ano po bang ibig sabihin sa natural disaster? Lahat po ba? Hurricanes, flood? Hindi. Kailangan nyo ring i-specify kung alin lang yung mga iba't ibang disaster na naka-include sa threat na minention nyo dito. So dito po, ilagay po natin hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, and wildfires. Okay. So ano po yung magiging consequence niya kapag nagkaroon? So, masabi po, disruptions to business operations due to natural disasters. Second, loss of revenue. And also damage to property and equipment. Okay, ngayon, kailangan po natin i-assess yung impact niya gamit po ng ating impact assessment matrix. Okay? So dito, sa impact assessment, ano po kaya? Siyempre, with regards health, malaking impact po to wherein there will be chances that there will be large numbers of major injuries including deaths that may happen due to this natural disaster. So for sure, mataas po yung kailangan nating impact level na ilalagay din. At the same time, economic, ganun lang din po, based po sa inyong assessment, operation, environment, and reputation. Siyempre, reputation, it's an expected event. Lahat man po hindi lang naman po yung organization natin yung apektuhan, siyempre yung mga iba din. Depende po kung sino nandun sa area. Kaya hindi naman po tayo maapektuhan masyado sa ating reputation. Ngayon, we need to get the impact average. Ano po yung average ng 5 assessment na ginawa natin? And then, we need to identify the probability. Ano po yung chance or likelihood na magkakaroon po ng natural disaster in terms of this specific types of environmental disasters. Siyempre, paano mo natin alamin yun? Siyempre, kailangan po natin mag-conduct ng research. Kailangan po natin tignan ng mga statistics, Philippine statistics with regards environmental disasters. From there, you can base kung kada ilang taon po kayo nagkakaroon ng ulan, kada ilang taon po kayo nagkakaroon ng flood. From there, you can put your own probability. Okay? Siyempre, kung talagang stricto talaga yung auditor nyo, usually, hinahanap pa ko yung mga ganun. Ano yung reference nyo? How did you get this probability? Something like that, okay? And then, as usual, when we are making a risk assessment, we need to evaluate the risk and probability, and then we'll be getting the risk value, and then the risk rating. So ngayon, sa standard, kailangan po natin magkaroon ng control strategy, especially kapag mataas po yung risk rating niya. So for a good practice, even if it's a medium one, we need to develop a business continuity plan, which is nasabi na po natin to, na-establish na po natin to sa ating business continuity strategy. At ngayon, syempre, magkakaroon din po tayo ng existing control measures, which is usually makuha din po natin to sa occupational health and management system, pati sa environmental. So, copy-paste nyo po yan kasi meron naman na po kayo eh. So, pwede nyo na po yung ilagay dito in order to reduce pa or to mitigate the impact and reduce, and to reduce the impact. Okay, so ito po, example, availability of backup power, alternative arrangements for critical goods and services, alternative arrangements for command center site, or alternative area for production. Okay, ngayon, meron naman na po tayong ganitong existing control measures, pwede pa po natin i-develop yan in order to minimize. Yun po, kaya po pumapasok ang continual improvement. It should be furtherly developed. So, every time po na meron tayong management review meeting, dapat ini-improve po natin to. So, from the management review meeting, probably mapupunta po siya sa additional risk control measures once we will be updating our risk assessment. So, an example po, we have to again develop and implement disaster recovery plan, and again establish or look for alternative workspaces. So kung talagang committed ang kumpanya nyo, dapat meron na kayong contingency plans or meron na kayong ibang area or alternative site for production na nakontratahan nyo na yung may-ari para doon kayo mag-produce in case of disruption, mga ganong scenarios po. Okay? So, similar, meron po tayong cyber attacks. Ganun din po. If it's very low, syempre, nasa IT po to, nasa IT department nyo. Syempre, kailangan nyo po mag-conduct ng audit sa kanila. Paano nila make sure na regularly backup? Malakas po ba ang kanilang firewall or IT security measures? So, kung sa IT rin po ito manggagaling, syempre, kailangan nyo po ng representative galing sa kanila kasi sila rin po ang makapagbibigay ng sagot sa inyo. So dito, just for an example, since we have a good IT department, they have put the risk rating very low. So for our control strategy, it is already acceptable since we have these existing control measures, and just for a good practice, we are still developing further recovery plans in case of disruptions. Okay. Ayun. So, dito na po, pasok ang business continuity strategies. So, kailangan po nating alamin yung mga strategy, yung mga actions na gagawin natin para po dun sa mga disruptions na na-identify natin that is relevant dun sa ating mga na-identify na prioritized activity. Okay? So, these strategies should reduce the likelihood of disruption. Yun po sa ating risk assessment. It should limit the impact of disruption and provide for the availability of adequate resources. Okay. So at the same time, we have to properly select what are the strategies and solutions. Hindi naman porque natural disaster, kailangan hanap ng ganito, ganyan, na kailangan magbigay ng malaking financial resources. Is not that okay, hindi naman ganun. Kailangan lang naman natin is to ensure yung prioritized activities lang ang marirecover. It's not the entire processes ng kumpanya. Okay? Kaya po meron pa tayong tinatawag na minimum operation na kahit kung saan hanggang dun lang ang operation natin. And then once the disaster is over, then we can go back slowly in our normal operation. Ipapakita ko po yun sa isang response structure mamaya. Okay. So, ayan po. What are the resource requirements? Okay. Yun po, nakita niyo po sa business impact analysis natin, sa bawat activities, dapat ma-determine natin ano yung mga requirements like people, IT, physical infrastructures, equipment and consumables, and other forms of communication channels. And at the same time, ano po yung mga dependencies, transportations, logistics, finance, partners, and suppliers. Okay? So, examples po ng ating business continuity strategy is one is to develop a business continuity plan, to develop IT in a security management system, what is our procedure for conducting training awareness, what is the plan for communication plan, ano po kaya ang magiging primary channel of communication, is it via phone, meron po pa kaya tayong secondary communication channel, siguro mga walkie-talkie or any communication devices that would be possible in case na ang primary channel of communication natin is not available. So, lagi po may ganun yan. And ano po yung procedure natin, paano po natin i-test ang ating business continuity. And also, one of our business continuity strategy is to develop a supply chain continuity management and also continuous improvement. Okay? Sa bawat management review natin, dun po natin makikita and also kung ano po yung mga na-identify natin sa risks and opportunities and internal and external issues, we can use it for continuous improvement. Okay. So sa 8.4, Business Continuity Plans and Procedures. So dito na po, gagawa na po tayo ng procedure kasi na-identify na po natin yung mga disruptions. Paano po natin i-mitigate or reduce yung impact. At the same time, na-identify natin yung prioritized activities natin. Ngayon, gagawa na po tayo ng procedure sa ating response structure. So in a response structure, what is the nature and extent of disruption? Kailangan natin identify kung ano ba yung gano'ng katagal yung impact niya, ano yung impact niya kapag na-detect na natin. And then, ano yung mga actions na gagawin natin. And then, ano yung mga priorities na kailangan natin gawin. Siyempre, in the context of the BCM, ang pinaka-priority pa rin po is yung life safety as the first priority. Hindi po priority ang operation, but first would be the safety of all the employees. Yun po ang pinaka-first priority. Sa lahat po ng procedure sa BCM, laging inuuna po is life safety. Okay? And then, ano po ang ating procedure, paano po natin i-monitor, ano po yung magiging effects ng disruption, tsaka ano po yung procedure natin kung paano natin magre-respond sa mga ganung disruption. And then, nandito na rin po kung ano po yung mga factors na makapagde-decide ang top management kung i-activate po ba natin ang ating business continuity plan or the solutions in place. Okay? Tapos, after activating the business continuity plan, how we will communicate na nagkaroon po tayo ng disruption, na ganito lang po ang ating operation for the time being and it might affect our supply chain. Paano po natin yun i-communicate sa ating interested parties, the authorities, and sa media. Okay? So, magbibigay lang po ako ng isang simpleng structure. So, kung nakikita nyo, meron pong incident dito. And then, within minutes to hours, kailangan meron na pong incident response. So, from that, it will be communicated to the top management. And then, it's up to the top management whether they have to activate the BCP. Okay? And then, if it is required to activate the BCP, then nagkakaroon na po tayo ng communication wherein we have to contact the staff to ensure their safety and to contact our customers, our suppliers, and also the plan for recovering the critical business. Okay? And then within weeks to months, kasi syempre, dito na pa lang po, from minutes to days, dito na po, nag-start na po ang business continuity plan. Once na nag-activate na po ang ating business continuity plan, lagi pong nandyan ang process for monitoring. Lagi po natin i-monitor, kamusta na yung disaster, kamusta na po yung disruption, natapos na ba or malapit na bang matapos, ganon. So, kailangan na monitor lang po yun lagi. And then at the same time, nandun na po papasok mga plans natin to recover and to resume back to normal operation. So here it will include damaging the repair, replacing the equipment or facilities, and replacement of relocation to permanent place of work recovery, and also cost from insurers. Okay. And another one is an example of a gradual disruption. So just an example po, like for example, during the pandemic. So dito po noong 2019, na-identify na po na merong COVID noong 2019. So dito pa lang po kung ang kumpanya ay meron na po siyang BCMS in place, syempre paunti-unti pong bumababa yung level of operation niya. So dito po tayo sa may company na merong BCM. So paunti-unti pong bumababa yung level of operation niya. And then dito na po na-detect sa part na to, sa timeline na to, na-detect na po na merong COVID. So during an outbreak, syempre magkakaroon na po ng response, sa top management, ano po yung mga decision nila which involves work from home policies, tapos with regard sa mga facilities na kailangan dapat nasa site sila, magkakaroon na ng reduced working hours na kumbaga babawasan yung tao, however magi-increase yung operation time nila. Like ang isang tao mag-work lang for 4 hours, and then they had other people will work again for another 4 hours. Yun po ay para masigurado at malesen yung contact ng mga tao, mga ganong procedures po ba na kailangan i-consider. So from there, bababa pa ng bababa yung operation up to the minimum operation na lang po siya. And then along the run, it should be along the run ng pandemic, syempre lagi po yung mino-monitor ng ating mga health and safety or kung sino man po yung in charge. At ang sabi po ng government, pwede na daw pong mag-increase ng tao, pwede na pong pumasok ang 50% or 80% ng tao sa isang facility. So based from that monitoring, makapag-decide na naman po ang ating top management to increase the supply of our staffs going to the plant. So paunti-unti po siya magre-recover habang pataas na pataas hanggang sa mag-normalize na po yung disaster or yung pandemic. Then babalik na po tayo sa normal operation natin. Okay? So an example naman po kung wala pong business continuity management in place, syempre wala pong proper incident detection, wala rin pong proper response, at wala rin pong communication with the top management and the different key personnel. So pababa yung level of operation nila hanggang sa mag-zero po yan. Na along the way, wala po silang operation, wala pong operation na nangyayari hanggang sa end ng pandemic, hanggang sa okay na ang pandemic, tsaka na lang po sila makakapag-recover. So may delay po sa side ng mga organisasyon na walang business continuity management in place. Okay? Ngayon, sa part po ng pag-activate ng ating business continuity plan, kasi once we activated our business continuity plan, it only means that we cannot achieve our recovery time objective. It will be 1 month loss of operation, or it will be more than that. Kaya po, doon na po pumapasok ang pag-activate ng BCP. So once the business continuity plan is activated, meron pong requirement ang BCM with regards warning and communication. So there should be a procedure to communicate the internal and externally to relevant interested parties about what is happening in our operation, what is happening in our company, and then receiving, documenting, and responding to communication, ensuring availability of communication during disruption, and also provide details of the organization media response following an incident. So this type of warning and communication should already be in place along with the BCP, na if in case nagkaroon ng media, dapat meron na tayong prepared template how we would communicate with our interested parties, how we would communicate with our employees and customers. Just an example lang po ito. And then what would be the precautions that they have to do. So yun po, an example lang po ito. Okay? Siyempre ito po, it will be communicated internally, and then some informations will be communicated externally to ensure na 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 ang ating kumpanya ay slowly we are continuing our operation, yung informations that we need to share to our partners and suppliers para hindi naman po sila ma 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 ma-disadvantage sa mga nangyayari sa kontrata nila or sa mga contractual obligations na kinumit natin para sa kanila. Okay? So, business continuity plans, we have to maintain procedures on how we would communicate. So, yun po. Dito na po, nakalagay na rin po iyon sa ating business continuity plans. At sa ating business continuity plan, ano po yung mga recovery, ano po yung mga exercise program natin para ma-check yung effectiveness neto, and what are the evaluation of the business continuity documentation and capabilities. Okay? So, ano po ba ang generic content ng isang business continuity plan? So, sa mga nagde-develop po ng kanilang mga procedures sa kumpanya, I feel na familiar na rin po kayo dito, na syempre mayroon po tayong introduction, ano po yung executive summary, what is the purpose of the business continuity plan, and nakalagay na rin po dito yung summary ng ating business impact analysis, at nakalagay na rin po dito kung yung summary ng ating risk assessment and management. Okay? And dito, syempre, meron na po tayong strategies for recovery. Nakalagay na rin po dito yung emergency response natin and crisis management in case of any disruption. Ano po yung mga IT disaster recovery plan natin, and paano po yung communication plan natin. Dapat meron po tayong primary form of communication channel, meron din po tayong secondary and third. Okay? And then, paano po yung training and awareness natin, and paano po yung review and testing ng ating business continuity plan. Kaya kung nakikita nyo, itong diagram na po ito, once we are creating a business continuity plan, first is we have to perform a business impact assessment and risk assessment. And then from that, we have to develop a business continuity strategy. And then third, we have to document this information which we will be using during the decision makings in case of any disruptions. Okay? So, magbibigay po ako ng isang example. Like, for example po, nagkaroon tayo ng isang minor incident like disease, flu, or sneeze lang po, nag-sneeze lang. Siyempre, kung aware po ang ating employee, there will be one person, syempre ito, magre-report po siguro siya sa isang health and safety department nila or anyone who is authorized to check this kind of complaints. So here, during the incident and notification, it will be first checked by one of our business BCM coordinator. This is an example lang po ito ha. Just a generic example. So here from this part, it will be detected by one of the business unit PCM coordinator. So from his assessment, syempre this is a simple incident. Hindi naman siya nagbibigay ng malaking impact sa operation. Pwede naman po siyang palitan agad or pauwiin. However, it will not affect the disruption. So it does not require a formal incident response. Okay? Hindi niya po kailangan magkaroon ng formal incident response. So, pwede na po tayong pumunta sa end process. So, we will go to know and then we will go directly to end procedure. Kasi this is a normal incident that hindi naman kailangan i-prioritize. And then second, is what if nagkaroon po tayo ng isang infectious disease like nakahawa po siyang sakit pero hindi naman po siya deadly. So here, sabihin po natin na ang isang room or ang isang area ay infected ng isang disease and then it was detected by the business unit coordinator and nakita niya na yung buong unit na ito ay may stop kasi nga dahil sa infectious disease na to, then it means that it is a great impact on the operation. So this is the right time to activate a formal incident response. So once it's activated, ang ating BCM coordinator, he will coordinate to the BCM manager. So usually the BCM manager is from the top management, the person who has the overall in charge or overall decision maker of the company. So once it was reported, it's up to the business manager whether he have to activate an incident response team. So if for example po, nagkaroon po ng yun po, ang impact naman, ang assessment po ay sabihin nating 1 day loss of work, and then ang ating recovery time objective din is 2 days. However, it is found out by the BCM manager that it is a great impact sa operation, then he decides to activate the assembling of the incident response team. So dito po papasok ang command center. Usually, this command center, it is the alternative site wherein all the key personnels, all the people who are involved in the BCM management system should be there. Usually, yun po yung mga head ng mga different departments. So, dito po sila lahat mag-assemble. But through the use of IT and IT technology, madali na lang po tayong magkaroon ng command center via Teams, via Zoom. So, ganun po usually ang mangyayari. So here, mag-uusap po sila what is the best decision, kung do they need ba na i-activate ang PC plan or not. But here, since it is a impact na hindi naman masyadong malaki din, it will be just a 1 day loss of work, then they will decide probably from the HR department, magbibigay sila ng ng plans to hire temporary workers or subcontractors para mapalitan yung mga nagtatrabaho sa unit na to. However, syempre nandyan din po ang decisions ng Health and Safety Department. Syempre, before naman nila palitan yung mga tao dyan, they need to make sure na sanitize or na disinfect yung unit na to to make sure na safe working area to para sa mga darating na tao. Okay, so here it does not include the activation of the business continuity plan. Kasi nga po, ang sinabi ko kanina, once you activate your business continuity plan, it will include many procedure like you need to communicate to your staff na may ganitong disaster, it may affect ano yung impact niya sa operation, gaano katagal. At the same time, we need to communicate sa ating stakeholders, sa ating mga interested parties, lahat po yun. Okay? So far, dito po sa ganitong impact na to, it will just end on this point. Okay? So after that, do we need to invoke the visible plan? No. So we will just go to stand down, and then again, we need to debrief and post-incident review. So for here, we need to conduct a post-incident review. I-identify natin ano yung incident details, ano yung naging response, ano yung naging immediate action, ano yung naging recovery time. Yun po, as per the requirements sa business continuity management. Okay? Ngayon naman po, kapag mag-activate po tayo ng business continuity plan. So for example po, meron pong fire threat. So malaking impact po to, kung makikita nyo. So pag na-detect na to ng ating business coordinator, for sure, sira ang equipments nito at matagal na mag-i-stop ang operation. Probably 2 months or 3 months kasi may investigation pa. May mga recoveries pa, repairing pa. So for sure, let's say 1 month na mag-i-stop ang operation. Pero ang sinabi sa recovery time objective natin, ang maximum lang is 15 days. So this is the time that it should be, the formal incident response should be activated. So mako-communicate na to sa top management. And then at the same time, automatically, they need to assemble the incident response team, lahat ng key personnel ng business continuity management should be there. Ano po kaya pag-uusapan nila? They have to know what is the incident details, how long it will take, how long it will recover, ano yung mga recovery plans. And then if it will take some time, then that's the time that they have to activate the business continuity plan. Kasi here sa business continuity plan, malalaman na po natin dito what would be the incident management, how we will monitor and how we will communicate. Dito na po natin i-communicate sa ating mga suppliers na nagkaroon po ng sunog. It would delay our operation. However, magkakaroon po ng alternative site locations to provide the service and products na kinmit natin sa kanila. So yun po, naka-prepared, nakalatag na po yun sa ating business continuity plan kapag well-established po siya. Okay? And then we have to monitor, we have to monitor this ng paulit-ulit lang. So nakikita nyo, ito po yung diagram natin. So once na-activate natin yung activity, iikot at iikot lang po siya. Response activities, no, 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 hanggang sa ma-monitor na tapos na yung disaster or okay na yung incident, then that's the time that we can cease the activation of the BCP. Then again, we have to stand down, again, debrief, conduct a incident review, and then check natin ano yung recovery time objective, ano yung naging action natin. And then at the same time, from this incident that had happened, we can identify what are the opportunities that we can improve to further develop our business continuity plan. And also, syempre, kapag mga ganitong incident, kailangan natin i-review yung ating operational procedures, ang ating risk assessment, lahat po yan interconnected. Okay? So, ayun, naipakita ko po ang isang response structure wherein kung saan may mga times na hindi kailangang i-activate ang isang formal incident response. And then may mga times na kailangan ding i-activate ang business continuity plan. Then I will just give a short information on what are the contents or what are the things that can be found in a business continuity plan. So sa sinabi ko po kanina, nandiyan na po yung summary ng prioritized activity, nandiyan po yung summary ng mga threats, at ano po yung mga resources na kailangan natin. Nakasummarize na po yun sa business continuity plan. And then, probably nakaset na rin po yung mga procedures na kailangan yung i-follow. So, just for an example, in case of power outages, okay, unang-una is to ensure employee safety. Well, actually, for power outages, we don't know kung hanggang kailan or ano po yung mga impacts niya, how long it will take for us to recover, depende po yung, then that's the only time na i-activate mo lang ang BCP. However, these things will be included in the BCP for some of the organizations who are having the business continuity management. So unang proseso, in case of power outages, one is to ensure employee safety. And pangalawa, we have to assess the impact of the power outages on the business, like the operations that was disrupted, or any equipment failure, or the loss of data. So nandito na po yun. And then, syempre, meron na rin po siguro tayong emergency response or incident response procedure na available na sa ating occupational health and safety management system. So, pwede pong i-integrate na lang natin yun na follow the general evacuation or how we are detecting or notifying our health and safety or security department in case of any incidents. And then, from there, dito na po papasok kapag nagkaroon ng assembly ng BCM team. Ang tanong, na-activate po ba yung business continuity plan? Is it yes or no? So kung yes, then they should follow the business continuity incident management procedure. So dito na po nakalagay, ano po yung mga communication na gagawin nyo, kanino nyo communicate, nandun na po yun. Tapos probably there will be some decisions which involves the use of backup power sources, migrating to alternate systems, and then once everything is going back to normal, then they can deactivate the BCP and then proceed to number 5. Ito po yung number 5, sorry. So here we are now restoring the operations, and then after that we have to conduct a post-incident review, document, and record. Okay. Again, for contagious outbreak. Okay. So for contagious outbreak naman, again, we need to check gaano ba ka, ka kalala or ano pa yung impact nito sa ating operation. So unang-una, in ABCP, ang priority is to ensure first the employee safety. Okay? And pangalawa, if it's necessary, meron na po tayong general evacuation. Siyempre, for sure, many companies have now adapted or had updated their emergency response plan kasi nga naka-experience na po tayo ng COVID-19. So, for sure, meron na rin po yan sa ating occupational health and management system. And then from that, we have to assess the impact. And then, we need to follow the business continuity incident response. So here, whether do we need to activate ba a formal incident response, yes or no? If it's yes, then there will be the assembly of the key BCM. So is the plan activated? Okay, let's see kung ang plan is activated. Ito po yung mga possible decisions na mangyayari. Remote work or work from home strategies, shift changes or implementing social distancing measures. And then once the outbreak is done, then they can proceed now for the deactivation, and then they can start slowly restoring the operations, and again, conduct a post-incident review, document, and record. And finally, last po, manpower strike, okay, or stoppage. Okay. So for this, dapat meron din po tayong procedure para dito. Okay. So to ensure na continuous pa rin ang ating operation, then first is we need to identify the essential personnel. We have to identify the minimum number of personnel required. Oh, nasulat na po yun sa BCP natin. Sa business impact analysis pa lang po natin na nakasummarize dito, malalaman na po natin kung ilang manpower resource ang kailangan. Okay? And then again, may mga emergencies po ba, residents, then we just need to follow again the procedure on how we will detect and how we will notify our top management if they would go for assembling the BCM team. Okay? So if in case ayaw talaga magtrabaho ng mga tao, let's say more than 2 days or 3 days daw hindi sila papasok, then this will call for a business continuity plan. We have to activate it. So here, it might involve decisions on conducting cross-trained employees. So may mga employees siguro doon na willing mag-work na kaya nilang gawin yung mga multiple jobs dun sa site. And then second is to hire temporary staff. So dyan na po papasok ang finance and HR department. They will be instructed to hire temporary staff to fill the absence of the staff o yung mga tao na nag-manpower strike. And then for additional cost reduction, pwede rin pong i-redistribute yung workload. Okay? And then once everything is done, or probably manpower strike has been normal, naging okay na po ang agreement, whatever the incident or ano po kung ano naging root cause ng threat na to, then that's the time that they could deactivate the BCP, and again they could proceed to restore normal operation, monitor, and then resume to normal operation, and again conduct post-incident review and record and document. Okay? So tapos na po tayo sa do part. Okay? Kapag gawa na po tayo, na-implement na rin po natin. Now we need to check. Ito na po. Similar po sa ating mga previous management system. We have to monitor, how we will monitor, what are the measurements, and how we will analyze and evaluate. And by that, we can conduct an internal audit. And then after identifying the good practice, the opportunities for improvement or NCRs, it can be reviewed in the management review. Okay, so dito na po yun. Malalaman na po natin sa monitoring measurement. And also again, we need to conduct internal audit. Dito po, kailangan natin i-check yung mga exercise programs na ginawa natin, mga business continuity strategies, yung effectiveness ng business continuity plan at yung content niyan, which is yung credibility and the capability ng mga personnel. And then at the same time, management review, which yun po, dito na po natin pag-uusapan yung mga inputs with regards any other issues, any risks and opportunities identified, and with regards the outputs, what are the improvements that we can do to improve the system. Okay. And then finally, clause number 10, the improvement, ayun po, based po sa ating internal audit, the measurement analysis na ginawa natin, monitoring, and also the output from the management review. We can use it for the the continual improvement. And then at the same time, sa BCM po, kailangan din po natin magkaroon ng procedure on how we would address the non-conformities and corrective actions, like which is makukuha po natin sa ating mga business exercise reports, test reports, at kung ano pa po yung mga binigay na NCRs during our internal audit. Okay, for the continual improvement of the management system. All right, so dito na po nagtatapos ang presentation ko for the business continuity management system. I hope po naging fruitful po itong discussion with regards to business continuity management. And masasabi ko lang din po, ang business continuity management is maganda rin po siyang kaalaman sa ating mga HSE professional, na kung saan kapag halimbawa po may interview tayo or gusto po natin mag-improve or magpakitang gilas sa ating kumpanya, we are aware how we will implement ang business continuity. Kasi usually ang HSE, nag-i-stop na lang po siya sa remediation or mga immediate action or corrective action kapag nagkaroon ng incident. Okay, nagkaroon po ng incident, nag-stop. Doon na lang po yun. Pero what if HSE professional kayo at alam niyo po ang BCM, hindi na lang po kayo mag-i-stop doon. Pwede nyo na rin pong i-propose sa management na magkaroon ng business continuity management na kahit nagkaroon ng incident, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung operation, which is a good thing for an HSE professional para mas ma-improve niya and mas ma-improve niya yung reputation niya sa kumpanya. So maganda rin po itong market strategy para sa atin na dapat aware din po tayo sa business continuity management system. So, ayun po. Maraming salamat po.
Alright.
Alright.
Yes, maraming salamat, Admin.